explaining the elementary debate topic and explaining all the terms so that you know what they mean and you can debate them properly. So this year's debate topic is, should the state of Georgia increase spending on recycling programs or require companies to use more sustainable packaging? So some important things to know before we start defining all the definitions in the debate topic is what recyclables, compostables, and landfill trash are. So these are the three types of trash that we throw away every day. So we'll start off with recyclables. Recyclables are things like plastics and paper that you put in big blue recycling bins. And the reason that plastic and paper is recyclable is because these things can be taken to a recycling plant and we can use them again to make more plastic products and more paper products. The next type of trash is compostables. Compostables are things that can be thrown away and they will decompose into the earth. So something like a banana peel. If you throw away a banana peel into the compost bin, that can be composted and administered back into the earth rather than put into a landfill where certain things won't decompose as quickly. The last type of trash is landfill trash. This is things like styrofoam or certain plastics that take a really long time to decompose back into the earth. So recyclables and compostables are types of throwing away trash that we call sustainable. And the reason that these are sustainable is that they don't take up space in landfills. And taking up space in landfills with things like styrofoam and certain types of plastics that take a long time to decompose back into the earth is a bad thing because we don't have unlimited space on our earth. That's why we need to be transitioning to more sustainable types of disposing of our waste, like recyclables and compostables. And that's why this year's debate topic is about more sustainable waste disposal. So now we'll look more closely at different terms within the topic. So the first thing that we'll talk about is the state of Georgia. So the reason that we use the state of Georgia in this debate topic is because state governments are able to pass bills or spend money in order to make our lives better. And so instead of just saying that the judge should do something like recycling, we want to use someone like the state of Georgia that can make a really big impact on an entire state and lots of people. Next is increased spending. So whenever the government increases spending, that means that they're going to spend more money on a certain product. So when we increase, that means to go up, and so we're going to spend more money in this case. The next term that we're going to define is recycling programs. So recycling programs are things that will make people recycle more. Whenever the government puts money into recycling programs, their end goal is for people to recycle products more than they are before. So whenever the state of Georgia increases spending on recycling programs, that means that they're putting more money into programs so that people will recycle more and our environment will be better off because recycling is more sustainable than just putting things into the landfill. Next is requiring companies to use more sustainable packaging. So we'll break that down a little bit more. We'll start off with require. So when we require someone to do something, that means we're making them do it. So an example of this would be you go to school because your parents make you go to school. They require you to do that. And then companies are people like Coca-Cola or big companies that sell products. And so we want to require these companies to use more sustainable packaging. And we already talked about sustainable earlier, and essentially sustainable packaging is going to be packaging that's not going to take up space in landfills. So sustainable packaging would be things that could be recycled or composted whenever you're done with them, and they won't hurt our environment as much in the long run as something like styrofoam that would have to go to the landfill. So the reason that we would require companies to use more sustainable packaging is to prevent that space in the landfill from being taken up by things that aren't sustainable and are going to hurt our environment in the long run. So that second part is that the state of Georgia should require companies to use more sustainable packaging, and that's eventually going to be what the negative team argues in this debate topic. So we'll talk more about what each team is going to be debating now. So the affirmative team is going to talk about that first section of the resolution that we talked about. They're going to talk about increasing spending on recycling programs. Then the negative team is going to talk about how we should require companies to use more sustainable packaging. So now that we've talked about all of the terms within the resolution and you know about the different kinds of trash and which ones are sustainable, and we know what the affirmative and the negative team are arguing for under this debate topic, you're ready to look at the debate packet and start debating.